this is the part where we're going to try to tie together and unify this whole thing. It looks a little odd that you've got 3 sections of 3 different colors. But if you look at this, you've got elements of, say, this yellow is brought into the red. You can kind of see as it gets lighter. And then also to the blue. And then we have repeats even of the red brought into this yellow right here, and then repeats of it right here, as well as some of the blues and purples in other places. So anyway, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun making that happen and unifying what we have. So what we're gonna do, we're going to end up starting with our yellow, and I figured it would be good to start off with the lightest color. So as you go into, say, the medium and medium light areas, to brighten this whole thing up, we'll add a little bit of our yellow as it goes into the white areas. And I'm just making little ovals when I'm doing that, just really light. And I'm stopping obviously where you've got white. Okay, so as this blue, as it starts to get lighter right here, I'm just gonna bring a little bit and introduce a little bit of that yellow here, and it's gonna give it a little bit of a green kind of tinge to it. And I'm still sticking, you know, with this little chart as I'm going here. All right. So the next thing I think would be really neat to add, and we're just repeating some of these colors that we already had on here. Since we added a little bit of this orange to the blue, it makes sense that you would add orange in other spots. So I'm going from light to dark. So I started with yellow, and my second darkest would be this orange, and I'm just adding it just a little bit to my red. And what it's gonna do in the medium areas and in the medium light to maybe a little bit in the dark areas, it's gonna brighten it up a little bit. So, you know, when you look at this and you think, wow, you know, this really got dull with the opposite color being added to it, well, that orange on that red is really gonna help the situation here. Now, coming out of this red, you would have a reflection of that red into that yellow. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of this orange here, and I'm probably gonna repeat some of this red up here. But we'll start off with the lighter color right here, and it's already starting to make it look like it goes together. And you can add a little bit just on that edge. As long as you follow the value chart, you could even, you know, add like a lighter green or something like that here. That would make it look really interesting too. So, you know, I'm not gonna really add orange so much here because it's already been added to my blue. I can go in and, like we talked about, I could add a little bit of this red to the yellow where it's a little bit darker, just so it looks like there might be a little reflection coming off of that little section. I can also, there would be a reflection of this red right here because it's right next to this blue. This is gonna make it have a little purple tinge to it. Now I could, to my red, like where you have an overlap, this you have purple in it. So where you overlap the yellow area, and this will obviously make this red a little bit darker, you can add some purple right here. So you can kind of see that makes a little bit of a difference. I'm just going to add a little bit here to the blue. It just gives it a little bit more depth. It helps to unify the colors and just makes it more interesting all the way around. You do not have to stop there. You could add a little bit of this green right here if you wanted to the edge. It's really up to you at this point. You can kind of just play around with it. If you wanted to add a little bit of that, I don't know if it's making that much of a difference right here. But you can see I repeated some things as I went, and if things don't get unified or look unified to you, you could repeat, like say for instance this red, put a little bit more right here, or put a little bit more red right there, so things kind of go together and are unified. So, all right.